good to be here. I'm glad that you guys chose us and not the Sbarro. That's cool. I feel like Sammy was talking himself into coming here before he got here too. He was like, I could have Sbarro. I'm not making fun of his weight, you guys. That's probably not how I should have started. That's probably not how I should have started. So it's March, right? It's March. It's National Nutrition Month. National Nutrition Month, which is, it's good for me because last month I was eating nothing but Black history. I just finished Roots. Literally, just finished it. I live here in Milwaukee. I live with my girlfriend, which is cool. I cohabitate with a woman. It's awesome. You guys? You do? Okay, all right. Super thrilled about it too. Awesome. It's cool. Like, we have little games we play around the house and things like that. One of the things that I was doing around the house that was bothering her is every now and again I would just say, "Newsflash!" Like, the dishes aren't done yet. Or I would say, "Newsflash, time to get this laundry done, am I right? Head to toe dirty laundry." Eventually she was like, "If you say newsflash one more time, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face." I was like, Google alert. Dishes still need to get done. And then she punched me. Yeah, I like living with a woman. Like, we do have arguments though. Like, another argument we had is that Peter Dinklage is a little person, and you know, I respect him as an actor, and she does too. But the argument we had was over the fact that I do insist on calling all of his clothes cute little outfits. I can't help it. Cannot help it. She's cool though, because she gets me into things that like I normally wouldn't be into. She's really into the Dr. Phil show, which is cool. Like, I've never seen it before, so like I checked it out. He says things that like don't make any fucking sense. He literally said on his show, and I'm quoting him, he said, "You know, we had you backstage and you were jabbering away, but we got you out here and you couldn't melt hot butter in your mouth." What the fuck does that mean? Like, hot butter's already melted. He'll say things like, "Yeah, you know, you could bake a pie for a cat, but a cat ain't gonna bake a pie for you." We all agree on that. Who is baking a pie for a cat? No one. I think the strange part is that he actually has producers. Like, somebody has to go through his stuff with him and be like, "Oh, you know, Phil, we looked at what you're planning to say today, and you definitely cannot say the South will rise again. That is just off limits. That is just off limits." Though I love my girlfriend, I do. Give it up for love. The cheapest clap ever. She had it in her purse. She was like, "It's okay." I do, but we have those arguments, and I did something that like caused the biggest argument ever. I took in my brother to live with me, and you have to hear me out. He's a piece of shit. And just an all-around bad guy. Like, just an all-around bad guy. Here, I'll give you an instance. If he puts his socks on upside down in the morning, he doesn't change them. He just goes through his day like that's God's plan for his feet. Like, just, if my socks are on upside down, I would just punch my way through my day. Just punch everybody. But it's interesting. He was living with me for a while because he was unemployed. And I came home one day, and he had drank all the Perrier in the house. Just drank all the Perrier. I had to like remind him that, like, you know, we bought grape drink. You know, that's for the poor people that live here. I feel like, what's next? I'm just gonna come to the door, and he's gonna be there and be like, "Oh, we're all out of foie gras, and I spilled Merlot on your Wall Street Journal. It's drying out back, and I spent a shitload of money on helium. So that sucks." I'm from Wisconsin originally. I'm from a really shitty small town called DeForest, Wisconsin. None of you have heard of it, and you're better for it. It sucks. Like, my town is so crappy that when it makes the big city newspaper, like the Journal Sentinel, I get really nervous. Like, I get nervous that they fucked up. Like, oh no, finally, they tried to clone a cow by, like, sleeping with a cow. Like, that's what I assume they're doing. But my town actually made the newspaper in Milwaukee, and I'll quote it, because one man shot another man in the face because he mistook him for a turkey. He mistook him for a turkey. Like, I don't think that that's fair, though. Like, I don't think he picked him up and drove him there the whole way thinking, like, okay, I was supposed to pick up Jerry, but I'm like 85% sure that this is a turkey sitting next to me. When I get there, I'm going to shoot this in the face. We'll sort it out later. To his credit, though, the guy was standing on a pile of mashed potatoes and gravy. So that's fair, you guys. That's fair. I live in Milwaukee now. I live in River West. I'm a River Wester, so that's why I'm wearing flannel. They issue it there. I like my neighborhood, though. I really do. You know, some people characterize it as dangerous, and I don't like that characterization. But it is, you know, there are times when you don't feel safe, and I'm starting to judge how safe my neighborhood is by the amount of grown men there are riding around on little girls' bikes. Like, every time I pull up to a stop sign, it's just like me looking over at a guy who's driving a little girl's bike and him looking back at me and going, "Do not ask me about this bike." Like, eventually, we're gonna get to the point where there's a guy with pigtails wearing a pink tutu riding around on a little girl's bike, and you'll know that's the hardest motherfucker in your neighborhood. My mom recently got a new job. She gave up her job teaching to go work for the DOT, the Department of Transportation, because kids are awful. I assume that's why. It's like, what would be worse than working with kids? Probably working at the DOT, like maybe. It's cool though, because like I called up to renew my plates, and they put me on hold for like ever. And then a woman named Bernice picked up, and she told me I need to marry my girlfriend. It was a really serious moment for me. Do you guys like Shark Week? I'm going to tell a joke about Shark Week. I love Shark Week. Give it up for sharks. Yeah. The improv guys are like, we love sharks. Yeah. Yes, and. Thanks. Thanks, fellas. I love Shark Week. Like, Shark Week's probably my favorite week out of the year. You know, like, I learn something new every Shark Week. One thing that I learned this year, actually, was that they don't have a way to actually tell how old sharks live to be. Apparently they cut a lot of them in half, but sharks don't have rings. That's a joke. But there is one guy who has found a way to actually figure out the exact age of a shark. What they do is they let the shark drive you to Little League practice, and if the Eagles come on the radio and they turn it up, then they're my dad's age. Exactly how old they are. Is he a big Eagles fan? Is that what it is? His dad's in the Eagles? Give it up for Robert Henley, everybody. Your dad's a huge Eagles fan? Mine too. Like, he hates that joke, and like a lot of these people. But the one argument that my dad and I get into, like, legitimately, is that Don Henley was better after he left the Eagles. Like, that's a great argument to have if you're an idiot. And me and my dad have it all the time. We'll get in that argument, and I'll be like, look, I just think that he was better. Like, Boys of Summer, Down at the Sunset Grill, and he'll look to my mom and be like, I have to leave the room. I have to leave the room. That's what our relationship's like. That's just a snapshot. That's not a joke. That's just me telling you what my life's like. You know, I said that I get in some arguments with my girlfriend. Other than bringing my brother into my household, another really great way to start an argument with your girlfriend or significant other is to buy furniture. Like, we had to buy furniture, which is horrible, and then we went to Big Lots to buy that furniture, which is more horrible. Everything's orange and the people are awful, and like they sell Yoo-hoo still. Like, I don't know, it's fucked up. But we got there, and they had a couch that was called a metrosectional. That's exactly right. And like, it looked really nice. It looked really nice, you guys. A little too nice. But apparently it's still into chairs. We decided to go with the bisectional though, because of course it goes with everything. I ate a moth recently. I'm a survivor of that. I was at a bachelor party and it was kind of a manhood thing. So I ate a moth, it was fine. Like, it was okay until the next day when I shit out a jacket with a bunch of holes in it. It was really weird for me. It was odd. I know Sammy does such great impressions. Give it up for Sammy. Now I'm going to do a shitty one. I do one impression. This is my impression for now. Do you guys like NASCAR? No? Okay. I like NASCAR, but it's kind of depressing because nobody likes NASCAR. So this is my impression of a NASCAR fan with severe depression and thoughts of suicide. Okay. Hi, I was talking to Jerry the other day. Let me tell you something. He's talking to me about buying a truck. He was like, hey, maybe we should go over there and get a Hyundai. I was like, why don't you buy a gun and kill yourself? Because that's what I'm going through right now. That's my impression of a NASCAR guy. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love living in Milwaukee. There's tons of old people here. Like, it's just littered with old people. Like, Milwaukee, like, not just like your nice older people, but just like old guys who seem like they're lost everywhere. And I know this about old men. This one thing I know is that they're never happier when they're just looking at shit. Like, just nothing. They could be looking at nothing and they're happy. I know this because I went to the Sendex, which is a local crowd. I went to the Sendex, and there was this old man there in the frozen potato section just staring at it by himself. He was just looking at it going, oh, okay, what is going on here? What do they got here? Oh, right, we got hash browns. All right, I've heard of those. Okay. All right, tater tots. Familiar. Okay. Waffle fries. Don't know what waffle fries are. They're the orange ones. Okay, all right. Mexican hash browns. Here we go. I feel like there just needs to be a shot clock on those things. Just like it goes off and it'll know to move. It's like, oh, pearl onions. I didn't even know you could freeze those. You guys have been great. I'm going to tell one more joke before I get out of here. Do you know what butt chugging is? Do you know what butt chugging is? No? You're smiling like you do know, right? You do know. Raise your hand if you know. All right, he knows. Do you want to explain what it is? No. No? Okay, I'll explain what it is. You can talk to him afterwards if you want details. But apparently it's when you put a funnel or a beer bong into your asshole and you have your friend pour alcohol into it so you can get very drunk very quickly. It was invented by frat boy scientists. Or the Mayans, we don't know. But it's interesting, like, I don't have friends that I could do that with. Like, I don't have, not that they wouldn't do it. Like, trust me, I have those friends. But, like, I don't have friends that I trust enough to engage in that kind of activity with. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I got in position, and it was on my back, and I looked up and I was like, look, Gary, I love you, we're friends, let's do this, I trust you. He'd be like, okay. And then he would whisper to my other friends, okay, get the hot nacho cheese, and let's just get it over here. And pour that in his asshole. All right, you guys have been really fun.